If you had put 1,000 cedis into MTN Ghana last Monday, you would have made 7 cedis and 60 pesewas by today. It might not sound like much, but in a week where the GSE barely moved, every gain counts. Let's see who made money and who lost on the GSE this week. Welcome back to Ghana Market Watch, your go-to source for Ghana Stock Exchange news and analysis. I'm your host, and every Monday, I break down the top movers so you can see exactly where the action is happening on the GSE. This week was relatively quiet, but there were still some interesting moves. So let's dive right in. First up, our biggest winners this week. In what was a relatively quiet trading week, these 3 stocks managed to edge ahead. Leading the pack this week is MTN Ghana, with a modest but consistent 0.76% gain. While it's not explosive growth, steady performance in the telecom sector shows investor confidence in Ghana's digital infrastructure development. MTN Ghana closed at 3 cedis and 98 pesewas, up from last week. Steady demand and positive telecommunications sector sentiment drove this performance. GCB Bank comes in second with a 0.31% increase. The banking giant continues to show resilience, and even small gains in this current market environment demonstrate the strength of Ghana's financial sector leaders. GCB Bank finished the week at 9 cedis and 57 pesewas. Continued banking sector stability and solid fundamentals supported this modest gain. Fan Milk rounds out our top 3 with a 0.23% gain. In tough economic times, it's encouraging to see consumer staples holding their ground, showing that Ghanaians are still enjoying their favorite treats. Fan Milk closed at 4 cedis and 41 pesewas, showing stable consumer demand despite economic headwinds. Now let's put these numbers in perspective. This week's gains might seem small, but in the current market environment, any positive movement is noteworthy. Here's what these modest gains tell us about the GSE. First, these small but positive moves show that Ghana's blue-chip stocks are holding their ground. In a global environment where many emerging markets are struggling, steady performance is actually quite impressive. Second, we're seeing rotation into defensive plays. MTN Ghana's telecom infrastructure, GCB's banking stability, and Fan Milk's consumer staples. These are stocks investors turn to when they want steady, reliable performance over explosive growth. And here's the key insight. While gains were modest, we didn't see any major losers this week either. The GSE is showing resilience, with most stocks trading sideways rather than experiencing volatile swings. So what's my take for the week ahead? In this consolidation phase, I'm watching for 3 key opportunities. First, MTN Ghana's consistent performance makes it a solid defensive play. With their 5G infrastructure rollout continuing and digital payment services expanding, this stock offers steady growth potential in an uncertain market. Second, keep an eye on the entire banking sector. GCB's steady performance suggests institutional money is rotating into financial stocks. Look for similar moves in other major banks like Ecobank and Standard Chartered. Third, Fan Milk's positive performance in tough times highlights the value of consumer defensive stocks. Companies with stable demand and essential products could outperform in the coming weeks. Overall, I expect continued sideways trading with selective opportunities in quality names. This is unto market for big swings. It's about finding steady performers that can weather economic uncertainty. Here's the thing. In markets like this, the real money isn't made chasing big gains. It's made by consistently identifying quality stocks before they make their moves. That's exactly what my systematic approach has been doing. That's a wrap for this week's GSE review. Smash that like button if this helped you spot some opportunities. Subscribe for weekly market updates. And I'll see you next Monday with another breakdown of Ghana's hottest stocks. Until then, keep investing smart.